Hi, it's Mike Leahy. Welcome to this webinar. I'm going to be talking about online courses and the platform ChalkStreet. I've been presenting either live to local businesses or online for many, many years, but it's only really in the last 6 months or a year that you're able to produce courses online and students can just click a button and the video will play. Prior to that, you'd have to download, and it was just so laborious. In fact, I used to produce courses on DVDs. People would order online, then I'd post them. Really labour intensive and hard work. So let's get cracking. We haven't got much time. I think this is going to take about 30 minutes. So we're going to talk about your online business, in particular with ChalkStreet. Now the future is now for online courses. It's really got busy in the last 6 months, and it will continue to do so now. The momentum is rolling faster and faster. Now is a perfect time to get in there. So let's make some money online. Now before we start, I'd suggest you get rid of all those distractions. Your mobile phone, switch it off. If someone wants you on the phone, they'll leave a message or voice message. Don't answer emails. Just try and concentrate and focus on this particular course. And if the television's playing in the background, switch that off or go to a room that's quiet. A lot of people go to their bedroom and just sit down in the quiet and concentrate. And that's what I'd like you to do, so you get full benefit from this and webinar. I suggest you have a pen and paper handy for notes, because there is a lot of content here and you will want to make notes as you go along. And come to this with an open mind. It's no good coming and thinking, when I learned at school, at university, at college, we did this and this. This is completely different. This is for teaching people online, and it comes from a completely different direction. Now this webinar is a no-frills webinar. You'll see the text, you'll hear my voice. There's no fancy PowerPoint, because I think that detracts from what we're trying to do. So let's get on with it, concentrate and stick with it. Now, what is an online course? It's an e-learning course that you take on your computer, tablet, laptop or smartphone at times that are convenient to you over the period you choose. And you work alone usually with remote support. So you go to the website, you enroll on the course, and then it comes in a series of lectures. And you start. You click on lecture 1 and watch it or read the PDF. And do some studying then. A good time for me personally is first thing in the morning. So I normally get up at 6, but if I get up at 5:30, I can spend 30 minutes concentrating on learning or doing a project that I need to focus on. So it's up to you, and you can take it over whatever period. You can work it over even a day. A lot of these courses are quite short, an hour, 2 hours. You can go right through the course. But what I suggest you do is do that and then spend time on each lecture. You work alone, that's the usual thing, but there is remote support. Most courses have got a forum and they've got somewhere where you can ask questions, or there could be Skype support. So have a look at that before you sign up to a course, and have a look at that if you're going to make your own course. What support can you give? Now we live in an ever-changing world. We used to have jobs for life, and that's been corroded. I remember people who went into banks, local authorities, factories, went there at 15, 16, 17, and they retired at 65. That's all gone. So we've gone from jobs for life to a number of jobs people are having now. So employment is dropping due to technology and cutbacks. Technology means that there's robotic ways of doing things now. And computers are coming in. So where you may before have had 10 people doing a job, it can now be done by one person and his computer. And there's cutbacks. I was in a shop only the other day, and they used to have 6 or 7 shop assistants in there. But this occasion, there were only 2. And I asked why, and they said, we've been asked by head office to cut back. They want to save money. They want to save money at the shop, but they want to keep their profits going as they were. So in the shop, everyone's working much, much harder. Now, retraining has been the way forward. So many people are used to online training. They go to the job centre or wherever and they sit down in front of a screen and there's a course. So that's what we're really talking about here. There's a lot of people who will pay for these courses. Now, new technology is constantly driving us on, forward. The internet was created in 1980. Now, that's only 26 years ago, and there was an impact from the mid-1990s. So for 15 years, it wasn't dead, but it was just so slow. Do you realise YouTube was created in February 2005? That's 11 years ago. And it was sold towards the end of 2006 to Google for $1.65 billion. Can you imagine that figure? A business formed by a couple of young guys and sold 18 months later for that figure. Facebook was created in February 2004 and it now has over 1.65 billion monthly active users. There was one day this year when they claimed 1 person in 7 in the world was on Facebook. That is a colossal number. Now, Google was founded in 1996, so it's the grandfather really, isn't it? But now it's worth in excess of $556 billion. It's now outstretched Apple. Now look at the top 1,000 richest people in your country. And apart from those being born into money, either because their families had started a business and it was now a large business which they walked into as part of that business, or their family just came from wealth. But apart from those 2 groups, the biggest number will be through the internet. And there are so many millionaires and billionaires who've made their money on the internet. It's unbelievable. So the growth and opportunities are enormous. But it isn't just the big boys. It's for everyone. It's an open field. It's open to you. And you can start a business without any capital, so you need no money. You don't need office space. You can work. I started work at the dining table. You can work anywhere. You don't need employees. You can carry on yourself. And if you need something done, go on the internet and you find someone who will do it probably from the other side of the world. There are people outsourcing so much now. And there are guys out there wanting the business. You don't need to pay for advertising, at least not to start with. And when you do, it's low cost. And you don't need to be full-time. You can do this if you've got a couple of hours on a Wednesday, work then. If you can spare 2 hours a night, great. If the weekends are free, use that time. The more time you put into this, obviously, the more you're going to get out. As I said, you can start on your dining table in your bedroom. You can work alone. Most people do work alone, but of course it's lonely. However, there are forums and there's help out there from so many places. If you're starting a new project of any kind, there's always people there to help. So look for those forums. And if you're now going to start online courses on ChalkStreet, there's a Facebook and there's loads and loads of support there to help you along. What do you need to start? You need the knowledge in your head. We've all got that knowledge. Somewhere inside your head is something that people will pay for. You need a computer and you need an internet connection. The computer could be a laptop, it could be a PC, it could be a tablet. It's whatever you've got that you can work with. And as I said, you can work as much or as little as you want. Now, what products can you produce in this way? Now, these are called digital products. Digital products. You can produce reports. So you produce a Word document, convert it to a PDF, you've got a report. If it's what people are looking for, they'll pay for it. You can produce ebooks on a particular subject. They can be Kindle or they can be PDFs. You can produce audio books and audio courses and audio reports. I remember that I had a series of selling audio podcasts about 8 or 9 years ago. And people could listen to that in their car. We'd send those out on CDs. So pop the CD into the player and they'd listen. Maybe while they were having, I used to suggest, while they're having lunch in the car if they're sat out selling. And you can produce video courses. And you can coach. You can coach through, for example, Skype. And people will pay you for that knowledge. They'll pay you so much an hour, so much for 15 minutes, or so much for half an hour. So those are the sort of things that you can produce digitally. You can sell physical products through Amazon, for example, but we're not covering that here. It's a completely different market. It's huge, but it is a different market. So let's get back to digital products. Now you can start selling immediately. You can start creating, producing, and then selling within a few days. But to make the most of this, there is a simple process you must follow. I don't mean making the course, I mean around that, a process that can make or break your venture. And you start in a small way with one course, and you'll build up and have many revenue streams, because once you get into this, that one course will not be enough. You'll want to produce more and more courses. I must tell you, this isn't a get-rich-quick business. It just isn't. It's hard work, like any business, particularly to get started. But once you're started, it becomes easier. It's one that needs regular marketing. So once you've got your courses up, you've still got to market. People aren't going to come running to you and saying, oh, I hear about this marvellous course you've got. Come on, sell me. No, you've got to find those people. But once you've found them for one course, of course, those same people will come back for more courses, and they'll tell their friends if you do this correctly. But the course only needs to be created once. Once you've got your course, it's sitting in front of you, you can then market it. And that course can be sold 24/7 around the world. Do you know, you're asleep, someone on the other side of the world is awake, ordering and paying for your course. Someone else has ordered and paid and is now enrolled and studying your course. So once you've created a course, then others follow. And that's the secret, multi-courses. Some people go for that big course, which could be £1,000, £2,000, £3,000. But I must tell you, that is not the way I would suggest you go at the moment. I would make small courses that are 20, 30, 40 pounds, dollars or euros. In fact, free courses as well. Do free courses, get the experience. And then build up. These big courses are great. In fact, you're selling a course for £2,000. How many of those do you need to sell in a year? Very few. But it's hard work and it's very specialised. If you're selling small courses, 20 or 30 euros, pounds or dollars, then it's easier. People will invest that once you've shown them what they're investing in. So once you've created a course, then others follow. The secret is multi-courses. And courses will usually group together. So, for example, if your speciality is painting, you might do a course to start with on the use of acrylic paints. You may then follow that with a course on painting people with acrylics, and then another course on acrylic paints and landscapes. So the people who bought the first course, you can go back to them and say, I've got a new course. And if they really enjoyed the first course because it's packed with content and they really benefited, then they'll come back to you. And the videos that are made up on each course can be utilised in more ways than one. For example, in painting, you might have a particular lecture on how to clean your paintbrushes and make sure that they're preserved. And you can use that in all the courses, of course. So now we're beginning to see that from small beginnings, you can quickly make new courses. And there are several ways to present your courses. You can use PowerPoint, and that can be straight like you've got here with just text and a voiceover like I'm talking, or it could be something fancy with moving characters and moving text and so on. And a lot of people like that, but personally I find that detracts from what I'm trying to learn. You can use PDFs, which are Word documents converted to PDFs. You can use audio, podcasts. You can use talking heads. A talking head is Like when someone's talking to you, like on a one-to-one, you look at your screen and there they are, they're head and shoulders. They're talking to you. And that's the best way, because when you see someone, you pick up their body language, so it's much, much more powerful. You learn better by seeing them. And with a talking head, you can also put up text alongside the talking head as well for notes, and you can support that. But I think talking heads are the best and most successful, providing you do it properly. If people can't understand what you're saying, the sound is poor, the lighting is bad, your presentation is bad, it's rubbish. But all of those things can be easily overcome. You can produce a great video of you talking. It might need some rehearsals, it might need you practicing and practicing, but once you've done it, the investment in your time will be rewarded many, many times over. There is no excuse not to create a course. I promise you, everybody can do it. Everyone has the knowledge, and that means you. Now, what I suggest you do, as soon as this webinar is finished, write a list of things you know about. Your hobbies, work, social. For example, hobbies. Maybe you're interested in painting that we talked about earlier, cooking. Maybe you keep fish, gardening. Maybe you do running. All of these hobbies are something that you know about, and I bet you know more about that subject than the majority of people. So someone who's starting on fishing, for example, might look for a course on fly fishing in particular. Now look at your work. Are you a team leader? Do you motivate people? Have you a skill at work, such as, are you an electrician, a plumber? Are you a salesperson? These are all skills that you can tell people about. And socially, what do you do socially? Do you play football or any other sport? Do you run a social club? Do you belong to a local photographic club? All of these things are of interest to other people. You will be surprised. So at the end of this webinar, list out the things you know about and amaze yourself. Now, producing your course is easy, and there are plenty of free tools available, so don't worry about that. With the latest platform, it's really easy to make your course online. And ChalkStreet make it very, very simple. It's progressive and positive. You just go through one step after the other. At the end of the steps, you've got a course. Follow this process, you'll have a stress-free entry. So let's look at the personal traits you must possess. You must take a focused, positive, enthusiastic action. Look at that again. Focused, positive, enthusiastic action. That's what you have to do. If you don't have that trait, then you ain't going to go anywhere. And we're not looking at the process of creating the course here, but there is a free gift at the end of it. There is a course you can have for free. Here we're concentrating on the process that will ensure your best chances of success. And there are 5 areas to consider. And as I said, there's that one essential personal trait we just talked about. Let's talk about that a bit more. You must be focused. If you're not focused, you'll be writing something and you get fed up and you go on to something else. You'll be writing on a Word document and you'll flick over to start surfing and suddenly you've gone. You must be positive. Your positive attitude will come through in your course, I promise you. If you're positive, people will pick that up. And enthusiasm too. It's contagious. If you're enthusiastic about your course and when you're talking, other people pick up on that enthusiasm and they will become enthusiastic and positive. And then action. It's the difference between success and failure. Do you know, you take 100 people, give them an idea and they all say, wow, that's great, I'll do it. How many people actually stand up and do that? Probably 1. And probably, if you took 1,000 people and 10 took that action, of that 10, only 1 would keep going. The rest would fall by the way. So if you can be focused and positive and enthusiastic and will take action, then you can produce something that will be successful. And let's face it, you don't have to be the most attractive person, good looking, you don't have to have the best dress sense, just need to be you. If you come across on a course as you are now, you will be successful. You don't have to put on any fancy airs and graces. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to think, oh, I could never do it. You can do it. And to produce something now is better than working on perfection. Read that again. To produce something now is better than working on perfection. It's better to produce a course, a short course, that isn't very good than to keep waiting for perfection. If you do that, you'll never, ever publish a course. But if you produce something now, if you make a mess, so what? Who cares? Make another course and it's a bit better, another one, it's a bit better. And eventually, after 3 or 4 courses, you'll be producing something really good. Then you can, if you want, go back to the first course and refilm the videos. It's easy. But don't keep trying to get it perfect on the first course. And people will buy something that's imperfect if it's what they're looking for. Really important to remember that. Now, the 5 essentials we're going to talk about to get it right are: you've got to find the area or niche that you're going to make your course about. You're going to talk about how to create content for the course. We're going to talk about marketing your course, launching your course, following up after your course. These are all essential things you need to think about. There's probably 50, but these are the 5 that I've pulled out. Now, the right specific niche. For example, if you're going to run a cookery course, who's it for? You're going to say, hey, I've got a great cookery course. You look on television, some of those, but most of them are niche. So, okay, cookery course. Let's talk about running a cookery course for a particular group. Let's talk about retired men who have lost their partner. They've never cooked. They've probably never shopped on their own. They've not done any of these things. They go out every day. They eat in a cafe, or they buy a prepared meal and bring it home and eat it. So what can you do for these guys? You can produce a series of videos showing them how to cook for one and produce something cheap, that's quality, that they'll enjoy, and they'll enjoy preparing. And in fact, they can say to their friends, hey, come round, let me cook for you. And their friends will say, what, you? What can you cook? Beans on toast? And they'll say, no, come round and see. I've been studying. I want to show you. I want to cook you a meal. And it's a wonderful way then to make new friends as well. And don't be broad, because it won't work. If you say, I'm going to do a cookery course, you'll get people who will look at it and think, oh yeah, but they won't enroll. Get the content right. So it's not just about the cooking itself, and this is how you prepare an omelette, this is how you do chicken in wine sauce or whatever it is. Find out what they really want and why. Why do they want? Do they want it because they want to save money? Do they want it because they want to enjoy cooking for themselves? What is the reason? Research. Go and ask. Loads of older people out there sitting on park benches in libraries and so on who would love to talk to you. See if there's any local clubs where they go to. Go and see if you can talk to some of these guys and see what they want. Pick up their email addresses. And a lot of older people, silver surfers as we call them, are on the internet. And they all do emails. So get their email addresses and start sending them out newsletters and bits and pieces. And ask for feedback. What's your biggest problem as well? You know, you might say, what do you really want? Oh, we want to cook for friends. We want to save money. What's the biggest problem? It could be, my pension is so small, I'm struggling. Okay, so we can produce 10 meals for you that you can have over the week, or 14 meals or whatever it's going to be. And we can do these for, I don't know, £3, $3 or whatever it is a meal. And they'll say, what? When I go out, I'm spending £5, £6, £7 a time. So you say, well, here we go. Let's save you some money. Get this course now. And let's go for it. You incorporate the problems into your course, so you can say, it's so difficult on a low budget these days. And with pensions going down in the future, we've got to find solutions. And I can help you with this because the food that we're going to show you how to cook, you can do it with no experience previously. You can do it. You will save money because the fresh produce that you're going to buy will last for a few days, for a few meals. it will be cheaper than going and getting prepared meals. The quality will be better, and you'll suddenly find that you've got a big interest that's taking up some of your time, because a lot of older people don't do anything all day. They watch TV, they go out for a walk maybe, they go to the pub, that's it. And they want to hear about what your course will do for them, which we've just explained. And keep away from you and specifications and features. Don't talk about, I was cooking in a cafe, and prior to that I was in a restaurant, and as you're cooking meals, continually do this. Keep away from it. If you're talking more than 10% about you, then it's too much. You can bring stories about you and what you've done in the past. For example, you might be cooking, you might be cooking omelettes. I remember I was doing some voluntary work, and we went to a large house, and we were doing voluntary work there, and the guy who owned the house prepared omelettes for everybody. We had red wine and omelettes, and it was fantastic. I can see it now, even though it was over 50 years ago. So I would talk about that and say the smell of the wine and the taste of the omelettes that I remember. But don't concentrate on you all the time. And tell them how they will be after taking your course. You'll feel healthier. You'll feel relaxed. You'll save money, and you won't have to worry about that. Tell them these things. You need to get the market right. Okay? You need to start marketing early. Don't suddenly say, oh, I've got a course, it's coming out next week, let's start marketing. You need to go back. The course is about them, it's not about you. So we're looking at those problems and how to solve them. If you look at any advert on the television, in the newspaper or magazine, it'll show the problem to start with, and then it'll show you how to overcome it. That's what you need to do. And give your best stuff if you're giving stuff away. If you're doing newsletters, put some really good tips in there. If you're doing little videos to get people warm, give your best stuff. And videos are great because they'll see you, they'll get used to you, they'll trust you, they'll like you, they'll want to do more with you. And by doing all of this, it'll build up your course. People will be saying, oh, I'm looking forward to this course, it's going to be good. Now, value is time, effort, and experience. So how are you going to pitch the price of your course? Are you going to say, it's taken me 50 hours, it's taken me 70 hours of effort, and it's taken me 20 years of experience. This course should be selling for £2,000. You can't do that, of course, but you can say to yourself, okay, let's look at this cookery course for older guys who are cooking for themselves. They're spending £5 a day, that's £35 a week. If we can pitch the course at £35 a week, they're going to save that money every week for 52 weeks, or they're going to cut it in half anyway. So they're going to make a giant saving. That's really worth thinking about. So you pitch the price at what they see as good value. And by the way, talking about food, give a man a fish and he will eat for the day. Teach him how to fish and he'll eat for life. So that's well worth thinking about. And your launch. When you launch your product, you're not going to get people clapping their hands and shouting and saying, yes, it's coming, it's here. Let's give me your course, give me your course. This is the beginning of a long haul, because they won't come dashing to you and asking for the course. You've got to go and find people, and it could take longer. It could take an overnight success, but it's more likely to be 3 months, 6 months, and when it starts, it'll continue. Because you produce your course and it's there and people start talking about it, suddenly the sales will begin and go and go and go and go. And you'd only create it once, but it's like a pension. It keeps coming in month after month. There's no overnight successes here, except in very, very rare occasions. And those rare occasions, people have worked so hard for the previous month or 2 months. I read about a girl who was working on her course 18 hours every day for 6 weeks, every single day, writing the course, marketing it, doing webinars, going out and talking to people, all of that stuff, really labour intensive. When she launched, she was exhausted. It's unusual. So you've got to build up before, and you need special offers on the day. Launch your course and say, today it's half price. And that's good, because what people will do, they'll buy it at half price, they'll take the course, and they will review it, and they'll give you star ratings, and you need those on your page. We've had 20-star ratings today. We've had 50 reviews. Read them here. So that really then entices other people, because if you've got an advert that you've written, people are going to look at that with less than if you've got some testimonials. You've got Mr. B from round the corner who says, since I took this course, I've learnt to cook so fast, I can now produce food just like my wife did, or I can produce food that my friends enjoy, or I can't believe how much I'm saving. And the follow-up. Once you've sold the course, you've got to keep on, and you're going to educate, not sell. You can't keep putting out little emails, blogs, videos saying, buy my course, buy my course. You've got to educate. You've got to give them more information, more information, more information. Educate and entertain. You can keep in touch with them with newsletters, blogs, Facebook. All of these things are really, really important. And you're working towards a new course. Finish a course, what's the next one going to be? So ask the question again, what's your biggest problem with this? And the people on your first course are the people you go back to. And be passionate. If you're passionate, it'll follow through. Now let's just talk about 1 course, 2 courses, 5 courses. Your first course is just the beginning. As an example, here are some figures. If you do 1 course, make 1 sale a day, and you make £10, dollars or euros a day, that's £3,650 or whatever in a year. If you do 5 and you make 1 sale a day at the same price, it's £18,250. You've got 10 courses, make 1 sale a day at £10, that's £36,500. But if you did 10 courses, you did 5 a day, which is 35 a week, so it's 10 courses, 5 sales a day at £10, that's £182,500. I've tried to keep everything realistic here, and I've not got any hyperbole. There's nothing exaggerated. That's what you could do. It's unlikely that's going to happen on day 1, but it's there and you can work towards it, and anybody can do it. So finish 1 course and others will follow. When you produce your first course, have the last section talking about future projects. So you produced a course and at the end put bonus. Ask, what's your biggest problem on whatever the new course is going to be? Ask them to join your email list. So say, why don't you sign up on our email list and we'll send you loads of freebies and we'll send you information about the new course. And you could even say, sign up now and I'll send you a report on blah, blah, blah. You can offer other services and offer a helpline. A helpline is really important because it makes people think this guy really is concerned and he wants us to do well. Now on this course, on this webinar, and on your preparing your first online course, here's help that I can give you now. I can give you Skype coaching in video production. I've done loads. Course scripts, I can help you to write them if you want. I can do sound and voice coaching. So all of those things we can do for you. So we can do Skype coaching in all of those things, video production, course scripts, sound and voice coaching. But we can also help you by doing voiceover. So if you've got your course, you've got your script, but you're not sure if your voice is right, we can do that for you. Now there's charges for all of this, of course, but it's there. We can do a full video production service. I'll show you my studio in a minute. So you can do full production service, which will be everything. We could do, and I've got new courses coming up in home studio video production. So my next course for you is in making your home studio and producing there. And I can tell you, you can do all of this for peanuts, absolute peanuts. It's a really good investment. A lot of my stuff I produce, you'll see the studio in a minute, but a lot of it I produce in my bedroom because the best time for me to work is first thing in the morning, sometimes late at night. And I can just stand up in front of a camera with 2 lights and bingo, we're in business. So there's the studio. So we can do loads and loads of stuff here. We can do drama, we can do a green screen, we can have a white, black or other colour behind us. Green screen's great because you can then put whatever you want behind, and I'll show you some of that in a future course. You can see we've got professional cameras here on the left hand side. It is the business. In fact, in this particular studio, some of the Star Wars green screen stuff was done in the last Star Wars film that came out just a few weeks ago. In this very studio where I'm standing, some of the work was done there. So, just to wind up, thank you so much for watching this webinar. Now, there is a course on ChalkStreet called Make Money with Your First Course in 10 Easy Steps. It's something I've written to help you to produce your own course, how to create it, how to physically put it onto ChalkStreet. Now, it's free at the moment. So go down to chalkstreet.com and enroll in that course right now and benefit from it. Do it, take action, be enthusiastic, be positive. And you will produce a course and you will start making money. Your success depends on you. So however much effort you put in, you will get the same back. Good luck with that. Thank you so much for watching this webinar. If you need any help, any assistance, I'm always here to help. Send me an email and I'll just reply. If you want any help, we've got the paid services that we talked about, which I'm happy to help you with, or you can just ask me questions. And even on that course, there's a place there for asking questions. There's a forum. Put up what you're concerned about and we'll try and answer it. But also go to the ChalkStreet Facebook and also my Facebook page for ChalkStreet. It's called Indian Online Courses on ChalkStreet. Good luck. Thank you.